Mary Helen Taylor Automotive Family Woman in the driver's seat. Today we speak with the incredible Riley Runnells of Adam Street Publishing, their editor, as well as a theater performer locally. And I cannot wait to go inside and speak to this energetic and sleep-deprived young woman. Riley, thank you so much for being on the show today. I can't believe I've known you since you were little, and here you are in the driver's seat.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Could you please tell us a bit about your history? And I know how you and your mom are very humble, so you need to include your recent awards as well.
Sure. Well, yeah, I grew up in Toledo, obviously, and I went to Ohio University and studied journalism there. And then I decided to move back to Toledo, and I lived with my parents for a little while. I started part-time at the Toledo City paper, and then it just kind of kept growing. After 2 months, I think, I was in charge of Findlay Living. After another month after that, I was in charge of Mature Living magazine. And then by my 6-month mark, I was running Toledo City Paper and Mature Living and Findlay Living. So it's been really fun to run all three of the publications. And yeah, as you mentioned, we were recently honored with some amazing awards from the Mid-Atlantic Community Paper Association and from the North American Mature Publications Association, which is so incredible. We won more than 25 awards across the two. And then we also just won some Press Club of Toledo awards, some of my incredible writers for Toledo City Paper, as well as Mature Living. And myself, I also won one for my profile on Trisha Cullop, a Toledo favorite.
Oh, that's great. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
What was the deciding factor in having you return to your hometown? And thank goodness you did.
You know, I will tell you, when I was growing up, I was one of those people who always said I was going to leave Toledo and never come back. I came back after I graduated just to kind of get my head on straight, figure out what I wanted to do. And I lived with my parents for a little while. I was freelance writing. And then I just really fell in love with this city as an adult. We've gone through such a renaissance in Toledo, and I love talking about it. I mean, I probably sound like a broken record because I talk about the Toledo Renaissance all the time. But I seriously just fell in love with this city as an adult and decided that I wasn't ready to leave it yet. And so, having a job in person and one where I'm so embedded within the community, interviewing different community figures and, being out there at different events, it's been so rewarding.
Wow, that's amazing. You juggle many, many responsibilities. What does a typical day look like for you?
Well, that's a hard question. I will say I have a version of a busy day and a not busy day. So if I'm on my busiest day, it'll be I start my day really early, well, to some really early at 7 in the morning. I am not a morning person, so to me that's pretty brutal. I head to Delta, Ohio to choreograph the show choir for the Pike Delta York High School. I work with them for about an hour in the morning, and then I drive back. I work here at the Toledo City paper until about 5 o'clock. I get off work, I go grab some dinner as fast as I can, and then I head to rehearsals. I'm in the middle of 3 shows right now. 1 I am in, and then 2 I'm choreographing. So typically I'm going to about half of each on the night. And then, I'm lucky because some of the schedules are alternating. So it's been hard to balance, but it's been a lot of fun.
I didn't hear sleep in there at all, but I'm hoping you managed to get some of that now and then. You mentioned that you were involved in local theater. I just think that's so exciting. And could you please tell us a little bit more about that experience and your thoughts on supporting local productions?
Yeah. No, I grew up doing theater, and I was between journalism and musical theater when I went to school. And I decided ultimately to do journalism, but I didn't want to give up my passion for theater. And really, that kind of transitioned into a passion for dance. I was on my college performance dance team, which was really fun. And I decided I wanted to keep that going. So on a whim, I sent in a video audition for a community theater group when I first moved back last year. And it was so rewarding. I had the best time. I made an incredible group of friends. And then I just kept doing it. So it was really fun to go through and do all of these different shows with my friends. And then I started getting calls to choreograph different local productions. productions, which has also been incredible. It's very, very difficult, I think, to get your foot in the door because there are so many of the same staple community members who are working on these productions. And I've been so lucky to have such great friends and mentors who are lifting me up and, showing me the ropes of choreography in our community. But I think it is so important now more than ever to support local theater. Obviously, we talk a lot about supporting local businesses in the area, and I think that mindset is so healthy, and we should definitely extend that to different local performances. And I mean, we talk about this a lot with the city paper too. Whenever we're putting our event roundups or event calendars together, we're always looking at different local bands or local groups or local performances. Everyone's going to go to the Stranahan and see shows, and of course you should support those shows as well. But you also are going to see some incredible talent right here in your area that you could not get anywhere else. So I definitely, definitely encourage people to support local theater.
Yeah, absolutely. What advice do you have for a young person starting a career, especially a creative one, in Northwest Ohio?
Yeah, for me, I would just say put yourself out there. I think it's really important to get out of your comfort zone. When you feel uncomfortable doing something in a professional capacity, that means you're growing and you're learning. And so I think making sure that you are getting involved with young development organizations like Rotaract, or getting involved with the press club if you're in journalism, or finding your niche for your profession, I think that is very important. And then making sure that you keep your connections, talking to people, figuring out how you can work with others and leverage some of your skills and ideas into different jobs in the area. I think that's super key to
Wonderful.
being professional in the area.
Well, thank you, Riley. It has truly been a pleasure, and we are so fortunate that you chose to come home, and and it would be exciting to see what you are up to in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Riley, for visiting with us today and injecting your creativity into our community and lots of energy. Let's hit the road and see who's next in the driver's seat.